Hi, my name is Mirela Rugina. Let's find out together about the Temenos Channel's business components and how TCIB was built based on these business components. Previously, TCIB Retail, Corporate, and Wealth were all built using a common functionality base and adding in a series of domain-specific functionalities for each. This task was hard and time-consuming to achieve and then implement. Customizing any of these solutions was difficult. Reusability of any part of the solution couldn't even be considered. If a client wanted all the functionalities of TCIB Retail, some of the functionalities of TCIB Corporate, and something from TCIB Wealth, then that client had to buy and implement TCIB Retail, Corporate, and Wealth solutions, even if many of those functionalities contained were not needed. The client got the whole package. So a change of perspective was needed. TCIB was rebuilt based on Temenos Channel's business components. A business component is a fixed set of functionalities that work standalone, thus being reusable. This means they were developed once and reused several times. Beginning with TCIB in R17, the client may get exactly the desired functionalities without having to buy and then implement the entire TCIB Retail, Corporate, and Wealth solutions. The bank might get 5 business components from TCIB Retail, 2 from Corporate, and maybe 1 from Wealth. All these pillars, or sets if you wish, of functionalities, these business components, are developed in such a way that they can work standalone. They can be tested and deployed standalone, so they are reusable. There are 17 business components developed now for TCIB Retail, with more to come to cater for the functionalities needed for TCIB Corporate and TCIB Wealth. A Temenos Channels business component is a fixed set of functionalities to complete a business task. It's not just something purely reduced to TCIB modules. Works standalone. Reusable in other solution than the one it was initially developed for. Always contains 3 elements. Backend with core banking versions and inquiries. Integration with the Iris Interaction Framework APIs, and front-end with the Temenos UXP components. Please don't confuse the business components with components in Temenos UXP. Imagine the layers of a business component as 3 puzzle pieces stacked on top of each other, forming a higher tower of puzzle. The backend is the base layer containing the TCB versions and inquiries. Integration is the middle layer containing the Iris Interaction Framework APIs. The front end contains the Temenos UXP components, the UI. A Temenos Channel solution is a Temenos UXP project that uses the business components to a maximum extent. The solution, built using business components, is a thin layer on top of everything that binds together the components and defines a viable business process. It's structured in 2 folders. The solution folder includes the main Temenos UXP project file, Retail IFP here, driving the whole solution, and it holds the main resources, themes, configuration files, and deployment options. Components folder stores all the other functional, technical, and authentication modules which are organized in specific folders. The Business Modules folder stores all the business components used. TCIB was built starting from the bottom, based on business components, and then working all the way to the top layer, the Solution UXP project, with its process and presentation layers. Backend layer. Being the first layer of the business components, this is represented by versions and inquiries in TCB. Interaction layer. The second layer of the business components, this is represented by the APIs generated by Design Studio's Iris plugin. Remember that a business component can have more APIs. Temenos UXP layer. This is a more complex layer. All of its components are developed in Temenos UXP. These are its sublayers. Integration. It holds data transfer related components for that business component. UI. The last layer of the business components, it holds user interface related components. Process. This is the actual business process built in Temenos UXP's process editor for the main project file. Please note that this is not part of the business components. Presentation. Built in Temenos UXP's presentation editor, this drives the entire look and feel of the solution. Add a theme and you get the final result, the TCIB web page. Thanks to the business components, banks can use pre-configured model bank solutions. Additional business components can be used to enhance model bank solutions. Banks can build up their own system using business components as the baseline. Business components can be used, updated, and tested standalone. A single page of the TCIB solution may contain information from several business components. For example, TCIB Retail Accounts page displays the logged-in external users' accounts information obtained from several business components such as Accounts component, Standing Order component, Transactions component. You may find additional information on Temenos Channel's business components in the new features TCIB Learning Guide 1, available from summer 2017.